By the way, the recordings of the sessions will be available in a form of playlist for the new people. Actually, others know it. Uh, so for you to revisit. Yes. So we were discussing about having our children eating pizza. So I was actually asking this question, and that abruptly the session ended. That do we take the responsibility of the exposures that are happening to our children?
In terms of external exposures,
Yes.
we are not always able to control them.
No, no, it's not about the control. What I'm asking here is, for example, my daughter never asked for chicken to consume. But I want to have chicken. That this
Yes.
proposal never came from my child, but she wants to have pizza, right? Vegetarian pizza, uh, but she wants to have, and this responsibility goes to us only, the primary caregivers. Do I take that responsibility or not? This is one of the big questions actually. Somehow I have weakness towards pizza, and that is reflected, and that is why I have allowed, maybe for a single time, but I have allowed because I considered this is a acceptable thing. This is an acceptable thing.
So there are, I agree with that, but there are, as the children grow up, it is not always, they don't stay at home only. They would be exposed to outside world. Uh, like I remember the first time my son, he had never had Coke, and he went to a birthday party, and he came and was so excited on the way. He said, I had this brown drink, and we were like, oh, the brown drink has come in life. So the point is that it is not always, and it almost seems like a dictator to control, and to, so what I'm trying to say is that it's not only us who are, but our environment. Yes, the environment which they are exposed to is also what we have created for. We have in some way been responsible for. Uh, but the thing is that as they grow up, it may not always be so. I may not give those things at home. It may not be like, of course not, like may not be chicken, but a pizza, I may not bring it at home. But when they get out, they are exposed to it, and it is, I may not get it, but they may still have exposure to.
Yes.
uh,
So till a certain point in their life, they experience the things that we allow, right? But the problem that we are discussing here is far deeper. Do I need to have a child who is leading a healthy life if they are controlled, or do I wish to have my child who is self-driven and leading probably whatsoever life, like preferably
yes.
healthy life or otherwise any life, right? So it's a similar question what Amrit brought in, that a particular health regime, if leads me to a better state of health, then why not? That's a question, right? That if under some condition, if my health is better, and under some condition my child is doing better, and all these are having multiple conditions. Do you see? Like
Yes.
doing better has got a condition. These are the conditions of doing better. So do I interact with my child with umpteen freedom, or do I interact with with the intention of bringing a lot of controls?
intention is the former.
So intention, any intention means there is some intention of control.
No, the
I want to
intention is to not like I don't mean as an intention, but one would like it to, one wants it to be, on like a free flow of conversation to happen.
see, yeah. So what we actually uh, prefer, rather, like those who are inquiring and deeply interested in inquiry, exploring the things at the deeper level, actually wants the child to move naturally without any condition, right? Then there comes the fear of external conditioning. Let's look at this at the deeper level. Like, we actually want that the child should lead her life unconditionally and having a natural movement in life. Now there comes the fear that my child is subject to be conditioned from external factors, which is a fact. There is no denial. Now the next portion is far more important than the previous one. That I end up bringing some condition to overcome the external condition. That will never relieve the child from conditions. Do you understand that? So I want to
Adding more
counter some,
condition.
yes, I want to counter some conditions which might be affecting my child, and I bring some
More condition.
conditions, some more conditions. So one individual is dealing with some conditions because naturally everybody is in conflict with the conditions because nobody likes conditions, howsoever it is being enforced. So can I look at this fact and be with the child? Just be with the child unconditioned. That's far more important aspect than just letting him have a pizza. When we are agendalessly staying with the child, then the possibility of bringing the natural movement comes in. Otherwise, if I sketch some strategy to bring him out of a condition, I unknowingly bring some condition onto my child.
Yes.
Anyone wants to reflect on this? Dr. Kaur?
Yeah, it's very true what you have reflected. Ki already the person is dealing with whatever situation or point, and if I also influence him, or and that desire is there to influence in a better
Yes.
way, something they can make a better choice. That desire is being a parent, being a mother, that is there, but that interferes. That may interfere because the child may not be in a state of total communion. They are in their own flow, and in that situation, the being together, being available, as you said, in a choiceless manner, because things do take their own time, and then like we also made similar choices earlier on when we were younger. We did the same things what the children are doing.
Yes.
So although now, because we know and we have experienced and we want to pass on our experience so that they don't have to go through that long path, but still it doesn't serve a purpose that way. Being choicelessly being available, and they need their freedom. They have to be given that freedom to face the life, whatever the life is uh, giving to them.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, ma'am. So
I
here,
was also thinking that it is almost like a lot of times they may want to actually be doing the thing that you would like them to do, but because of us saying it, they don't want to do it. That also happens. So that, like, they delay, they resist that understanding which is naturally coming to them. They resist it because they almost think that, you know it's also coming from you.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm, hmm.
I was wondering why would it happen, but it happens.
Yeah, that may happen sometime, but the point that Dr. Kaur brought in is that the choiceless availability. Now, this choiceless availability leads us to understand more about the child. So, if you pick up the example that you brought in, that your child is asking for pizza and eating pizza. Now, when the child is eating pizza and you are looking at that phenomena with a concern, with a concern means conclusion, which will restrict me to see further. When we look at that phenomena choicelessly without concluding, the physical fact is something else. That doesn't bring a conclusion. The physical fact that the pizza is a product of idea, this is a physical fact. And this is not a conclusion per se. It may look like conclusion, but physical fact identification is not conclusion. And that is not bringing any sensation within in terms of concern, because you know that overall energy phenomena is beyond comprehension, and just pizza may not have the impact that we are I'm concerning about. So when I look at this phenomena choicelessly, a lot of things get revealed in front of me. Otherwise, my perception is restricted. My perception doesn't get the dynamism to go beyond and look at the things that you are mentioning. That the child is already trying to do the things that we want, but just because we have uttered the thing, they are restricting themselves to do those things. So those do have a lot of psychological dispositions that can be revealed when I be with it choicelessly. I don't have a choice, but I am with it. Can I bring this presence to my child?
But
This is the
usual
biggest question.
attitude is that from nature cure, once we mostly people don't have understanding about the nature cure and nature healthy lifestyle, because we have attained such a knowledge and an understanding. It becomes almost automatic to tell them, our parents, our children, and others, that they should opt for this sort of lifestyle. But as you're talking, the psychological perspective has to be taken into consideration. How we can't just limit to the physical, although that's very clear to us and we want to indicate to them.
Yeah, whenever they are asking for it, then only it will be having an impact onto their lifestyle. So that's one thing. And another hindsight of nature cure understanding or natural health understanding is the obsession about it, which we actually ignore. When we are in a conventional lifestyle, then this gets revealed. Okay, this is the life that is naturally crafted for us. Then we become obsessive about it. So far, last 40-50 years, were contented with the kind of conventional lifestyle. Now suddenly, with a with a single workshop, after attending that workshop, it gets revealed, okay, fruit needs to be the primary food, and we become obsessive about it. And that obsession starts depleting us more than what a pizza would. And this particular workshop is to understand this obsession. at a closer level, so that we can observe and help us dissolve without any specific choice. That's very important. And this might sound like without any choice, but it will dissolve. These are somewhat contradictory things may be appearing. But let's inquire further that how choiceless state can lead us to the natural movement. Right, so we'll be joining back at 2 p.m. post lunch after having some rest and continue with our topic. And those who are not able to, maybe Carolyn, it could be your late hours. So if you are available, that's fine. Otherwise, the recordings will be available. Yeah. So, right, guys. So 2 p.m.
Okay.
Let's catch up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.